Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. After sweeping the Raptors, do the Cavs look like a team that can win the title? Plus, former Dallas defensive coordinator Rob Ryan explains why the Cowboys will be excellent next season. And does Carson Wentz need to play Week 1 to save his starting job with the Eagles? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. The Cavs swept the Raptors last night and are now headed to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Kenyon Martin. Welcome, Kenyon. Good morning.
Good morning.
How impressive have the Cavs been so far in the playoffs?
They were impressive against Toronto. They got through Indiana. They did what they had to do to get through Indiana, and ran into a familiar foe in Toronto that they've owned as of late. So impressive against Toronto, I would say, but not overall. But they're getting there. I think they're getting there.
I think that considering that in the first series, he didn't have a teammate ever score 20 points or more in a game.
Yeah.
Kevin Love, the last 4 games, was averaging 9 points. Your second best player, you don't normally advance in any series if your second best player can't give you double-figure points.
True. Facts.
So so LeBron had to have a Herculean effort. Yeah. In the wins, he was averaging 41 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. That's what it took for him to advance. Now, Toronto, I thought Toronto would put up more fight. I said they'd win 2 games. I thought they'd win the first 2, especially because I looked at it like this. LeBron and the Cavs were coming off that tough series. Yeah. They had 1 day's rest. The baby dinosaurs, that's what I call them, baby dinosaurs.
That's what they are. Raptors. Definitely.
They had dismantled the Wizards, so they had like 3-4 days of rest. I was like, okay, man. And then they jump out 33-19 in the first quarter. I was like, oh, man, here we go. And then all of a sudden, it just seems like when they lost that game, it's just like the air just went out the room.
Yeah, it was like that game 1 was a must-win for them.
Yes.
You know, you hate to see like game 1, like you need that game.
Right.
But for that team against
that guy,
they needed to go out and perform well.
Right.
Not just win, but perform well.
Right.
And they didn't happen.
Right.
You know, so now you're like, oh man, like all the pressure on game 2.
Right.
All the pressure on game 2 now. That don't happen. Now your back's really against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now what do? Like you get a valiant effort, but it's psychological at this point. Like I think DeMar said after the game last night, they got our number. Yeah, and they keep calling it.
Yeah.
Listen, they keep dialing it up. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things
Didn't DeMar get himself
so what do you
thrown out so he could just be out of it?
I don't blame him.
I don't think that was worthy of getting thrown out of the game. I've seen worse.
I don't think he's all that unhappy getting thrown out.
Yeah, but he didn't care neither, though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. It wasn't like he didn't fight the fact. He didn't put up a stink on the bench. Like none of that.
I'm out. Okay.
Yeah, all right, it's cool. It's over. It's over anyway. It's like, I'll see y'all on the bus.
Yeah.
So before I answer Joy's question, I have one for my partner across the table.
Oh Lord.
So last night after the game, your man LeBron James was talking about how during the Indiana series, the media was trying to bury my teammates alive.
Yes.
And just a few minutes ago, it dawned on me, wait a minute, he's 0 dark 30. How would he know, right? Doesn't he just tune out everything? So how would he know what the media was saying?
He doesn't respond.
Oh.
No, he doesn't respond.
Oh, but he is listening.
LeBron, they weren't
watching.
burying him, but your teammates in that Indiana series, they were on life support.
Okay, but you're not answering my question.
Right.
0 dark 30 to me means you tune it all out. You're off social media. You don't watch TV. You don't listen to the radio.
But he got kids. He got his team.
Oh.
And he's doing interviews, so they asking him.
Oh.
They asking him.
Maybe that's
he's looking at the stat sheets.
Yeah.
He knows what they
He's looking to see Kevin Love got 6 points.
Yeah, he knows what they say. Listen, he don't need no social media to go out and see that Kevin
All
Love didn't play well against Indiana.
All right, so my answer to this question is LeBron James is playing the best offensive basketball of his life. I don't think it's even close. I think he's taken it to levels offensively, not defensively. By the way, quick note, you asked me, where does he rank in defensive win shares just in the playoffs? He's 59th, so it's not like he's dominating defensively. Just for the record.
He's doing what he needs to do.
Okay, he's doing what he needs to do. But offensively, he's definitely doing what he needs to do because he is virtually unstoppable, especially when he goes into attack mode. And now he's got that spin shot in the lane where he just shoots layups on people. He can shoot them left-handed. He's ambidextrous.
No resistance.
What about that fadeaway? That what he shot last night, Skip.
But he's just messing with people. That was just clowning the Raptors. And again, it's the Raptors.
It's the Raptors.
Yeah, it's the Raptors, and he knows it.
You call it the baby dinosaur.
He fell in love with that fadeaway in Game 2 because they had him on the run and on the ropes, and he starts saying, this feels kind of cool. I kind of like this. I might try another one. And then I'll try another one, and I'll try another one. He can get crazy hot. He has not been crazy hot from the three-point line because he's shooting 29% for the playoffs. Doesn't have to be yet. Let's see what happens down the line. But Kevin Love is also playing the best all-around basketball of his career. Not against Indiana, although he had his crucial moments. But against this team, he just terrorized this team. I'm using terrorize in the same sentence with Kevin Love, which is, I didn't think I'd ever use that word. But he went 21-12 over 4 games. That's all-star numbers. That's
Kevin
impressive.
Love a power forward?
I don't know what he is. I guess so.
Is he a power
He was
forward?
kind of playing center because he's matching up with Valanciunas.
Well, that's on one end. Then on the other end, they run pick and roll and they switching, and you got DeMar DeRozan trying to guard him, and C.J. Miles trying to guard him. Listen, he did exactly what he was supposed to.
All right.
I'm thinking the whole time, listen, if you don't get down there and punish them, he did exactly what he was supposed to. They put C.J. Miles on you in the switch, and they got Valanciunas on the perimeter.
And I'm going to remind you, Kevin Love made the All-Star team. He's made 5 All-Star teams. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So he did, he did what he was supposed to do.
Definitely.
He did not, except for that one stretch in Game 7, do what he should have done against Indiana. But they would get help because Kyle Korver is shooting the ball as well as I've ever seen him shoot it. And he is a great shooter. And I don't throw that word around loosely, but he's making 46%. Well, that's what I'm saying for his career. But he's making 46% in the playoffs from 3. That's extraordinary. That'll work. Because almost every time it leaves his hand, I say, that's good. Because it looks like he's shooting free throws from the three-point line. To me,
the thing is that Kyle Korver, he's going to make shots. But what you got to do is punish him on the other end.
Okay, but I don't see people doing that because he is playing his tail off.
Toronto doesn't have that guy. See, Indiana took him off the bounce. They bring in Lance Stevenson. He's trying to take Kyle Korver off the bounce. The Celtics, if they play the Celtics, they're going to try to take him off the bounce. They're going to try to punish him down on the defense. Right. They're going to try to take some of that zap of his offense. They're going to try to take it away from him, Skip. But that old guy right there, you talking about he's shooting 29%? Okay, he's shooting 29% from 3, but he's shooting about 65% from the floor. And he got all of it
just
going.
In the lane?
He got layup.
Like
he got
80%.
He got that fade, Skip. And when he go in that toolbox and get that fade away, and that thing come out wet because it leaves the screen, I don't even know. I was like, what happened to the ball? I thought they played tricks on me. But I say this is a real game. They can't be playing tricks.
Well, the truth is, against Indiana and Toronto, it felt like any time he wanted to get to the rack, he just got there.
But it takes so much out of him, Skip. He's efficient, which means he can get a lot of points and he, layups and dunks. But Skip, he's not like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's on the perimeter. He's stroking it. Steph Curry's on the perimeter. It takes a lot out of him to drive and absorb that contact. And if you notice the last 2 games, they're picking him up 94 feet. They're making him. They're trying to make him work extra hard. But they still couldn't. They still couldn't drain him.
You know who they is?
It didn't work.
They is a rookie named Anunoby, who was the 23rd overall pick in the draft. But come on, it's a 15-year LeBron James against a rookie for 4 games.
It's fine, though.
Okay. What are you going to do? What do you think's going to happen?
I take the effort.
What do you think's going to happen?
The effort.
And he did have effort. He tried.
That's all you can do.
He scratched.
But that's what they try to do, Skip. They threw as many bodies. Okay, Anunoby, you got it for 3 quarters. Pick him up 94 feet. Siakam, you got him. Miles, you got him. Serge Ibaka, you got him. We're gonna throw as many bodies at you as we can, LeBron.
It wasn't enough.
He just gets stronger, Skip. Have you ever seen anybody? Because you know what he be doing, Skip. He be resting sometimes. He said, I be playing and I be resting. Because sometimes, he the slowest guy. On average, he's the slowest guy up the court. But on that last play, ain't nobody had that kind of speed. Change gears.
Yeah, sometimes he tries to rest on the defense, and last night a couple times he wound up with Valanciunas guarding him because he plays that one-man zone under the basket, and Valanciunas would just wheel on him and say,
Yeah, but what happened when Valanciunas tried to dunk, and he caught him?
I saw him dunk on LeBron. Well, he didn't dunk on LeBron because LeBron just quit on the play. He just sort of said, okay.
Now you know what LeBron does to foreign big men. Nurkic never recovered. Nurkic never recovered.
You got to be careful with Valanciunas, though. Like, he a little loose with them limbs around the ring. You know what I'm saying? You don't want LeBron going there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what's the fate of this Cavaliers team? How far do they go?
They can get through the East.
Yeah. no problem?
I don't. How can I, after what they just did to the number 1 seed, and I don't see Boston. Boston, they have a better coach, I think, so they'll game plan better. If they take care of business like they're supposed to.
Okay.
Game plan would be better against LeBron, against those guys. They, like you said, they will put Kyle Korver in situations where you have to guard Tatum or Brown off the bounce or Marcus Smart. You know what I'm saying? So they'll put him in situations like that. But I'm not betting against LeBron.
Okay.
In the East.
So what would
it's
you
tough.
do if you were on the Cavaliers team right now and you heard that Rodney Hood, a new addition at the trade deadline, had refused to go in the game late in the game, 7 minutes left, and they're up 30 points, and he just said, I'm not going in? What would you do?
You don't need to play the rest of the playoffs. You don't want to go in now. We don't need you.
Okay, he's a pretty valuable piece because
No,
he
he's
can
not.
flat out shoot it.
We don't need him. We got other guys that can shoot the ball.
Okay.
You know, if you don't want to go in this juncture of the game, hey,
And that
we
was
don't
his,
need you.
and that's his
It's an opportunity to go out and prove
to get shots because it's in a mean.
Yeah.
You just need to see the ball go in. Skip, you remember?
That's what Larry Nance did last night. If you didn't send us Larry Nance,
Larry Nance did all the scrap.
hey, we up 30, watch this. Hey, I'm going every offensive rebound. Hey, I'm
what?
tipping the ball to myself.
He shot it
but,
4 times and made all 4.
Four.
So, hey, so
Okay.
what's wrong with Rodney Hood going out there doing the same thing?
Well,
So
he had a
you should
chance
be
to go
selfish.
in with a minute left in the first quarter.
And that's why
he-
historically you've been on bad teams.
Yeah.
You ain't made the playoffs. So
That's
because
true.
your personality comes out.
Yeah.
You're on a good team, got a chance to do something special, and your true colors comes out.
And that was the reason that Utah had no hesitation giving up Rodney Hood for Jay Crowder. There's a Skip. Teams just don't really give up on good talent because it's so hard to get it. Eventually, think about how many head coaches Boogie Cousins went through because they know what a talent was, what he is, and they say, "Okay, it's the coach, it's the coach." But after 5 or 6 coaches and Boogie is still cutting up, well, it's Boogie. Yeah. Well, Rodney Hood. They gave up Rodney Hood for Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder has been tragic. Now, he's played better for Utah than he ever did for Cleveland. And when I've seen Rodney Hood catch fire and go for 30 and make like 7 threes in no time.
So you realize he scored 30 or more points 3 times this year for Utah in the first half of the year. But he will pout. If you don't play him high minutes, he will pout.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You can pout over there in street clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like I told you before on this show,
Yeah.
put your feelings in your pocket, man. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
we
easy.
got something to do here.
It's easy to score 30 in Utah when you got no expectations.
Yeah.
You play alongside 23. Anything less than the finals is unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Expectations.
And then JR playing well right now.
Right,
So
right.
JR's making shots now. He's playing well. So, hey,
And he's
we
defending.
really don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So you
can
just
make
hurt
that
yourself.
case.
So
Yep.
all you did was hurt yourself.
Maybe
That's all
that Saturday Night Live skit got to him.
Hey,
Maybe.
That's what it is.
It
A
was
little
true.
personal. He was the guy that went and got the dry cleaning. Or...
Yeah.
Hendon, thanks for joining us. No mercy. Hey guys, it's Joy Taylor. Before the show moves along, I wanted to talk to you about Buffalo Wild Wings. This time of year brings us 2 things, graduations and Father's Day, and the gifts that go along with them. Before you buy Dad another tie or that grad a balloon that will probably float away, ask yourself this. Does my dad or grad like wings or sports or better yet, both? If the answer is yes, then get them a Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. Right now, if you purchase $30 worth or more in-store or online, they'll give you a $5 bonus to keep for yourself. That's a gift that gives back. How generous of you. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. Terms and conditions apply. Now back to the show. No mercy. Let's add a new wrinkle to the LeBron-Jordan debate. Last night, the Cavs beat the Raptors, and LeBron is now headed to his 8th straight Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron got plenty of help from his teammates, including 23 points from fellow All-Star Kevin Love. So, Shannon, who had more help during their career, LeBron or Jordan?
Interesting question, Joy.
No, it ain't interesting. We already know the answer.
Oh,
Michael
yeah?
Jordan, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Michael Jordan had the better players. And what goes into this, Skip, is that anytime LeBron has had really great teammates, players, he's only there for a short period of time. So he played with D. Wade, but he only played 4 years. He played 3
Well,
years.
4 years is a long time, but go ahead.
Is it longer than the 10 years that Scottie Pippen played with Michael Jordan? Oh, okay. Just checking, Jordan. I'm just checking. Because I ain't good. Jordan, remember I told you yesterday, I ain't good with numbers. What about the 6 years he played with Horace Grant? Played 6 years. So LeBron James has never had an all-star teammate that he played with longer than 4 years. Michael Jordan had 10 years with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's in the Hall of Fame, top 50 player. 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 10-time All-Defensive. Skip, did you know that Scottie Pippen was an 8-time first-team All-Defensive player? Ho Grant, all defensive. Dennis Rodman, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star. Tony Kukoc won Sixth Man of the Year. Charles Oakley was a 2-time All-Defensive NBA Player, All-Star. We can go on. And the thing is simple. And these guys had a specific job. But here's a very interesting stat, Joy. I don't know if you know this, Joy, because this was, you were young, you little old thing running around there getting on Jason's nerves. I'm sure of that. All those 6 championship seasons, guess who led them in assists? One, Scottie Pippen. LeBron James have yet to play on a team in which he has not led the team in scoring and assists. That's 15 up, 15 down. So the numbers are going to look a little skewed because now it's an offensive game now and guys have gaudy stats. But there's no question in my mind that Michael Jordan had a better supporting cast than what LeBron James has.
Interesting. So, Joy, I happen to start looking at all-star teams and through the years, and I start adding up the numbers, MJ versus LeBron, and the first thing I find is that in 9 out of Michael Jordan's 15 NBA seasons, he was the solo all-star on his team. Only 5 times in LeBron's 15 seasons was he the solo all-star on his team. So it's 9 solos for Michael, only 5 for LeBron. Now that also includes one of the 9 solos was 1998. That was Michael's last championship run in Chicago. Nobody else on that team made the All-Star team. Can you believe that? Scottie Pippen, that guy you were raving about, he didn't even make the All-Star team as Michael's teammate that year, 1998, in which they went all the way to Utah Game 6. And you know what happened? Michael stole the ball from Karl Malone, dribbled up the court. He didn't try some funky, crazy horse shot off 1 foot falling out of bounds. He just went straight up on Byron Russell right there at the free throw line. Held the pose, just held the pose.
What would the last 2-minute report say? What would the last 2-minute report say?
So, back to this. That's kind of hard for you to argue. 9 solo All-Star years to 5 for LeBron. So, only 6 times, that's the other 6 years of Michael's career, did he have 1 All-Star. He just had Scottie for 6 years, made the All-Star team. So that's 6 out of 15, and the others 9. So he never had a multiple All-Star team.
Skip, don't do that. Don't do that. Because Michael Jordan got to the league in 1984. So Scottie Pippen wasn't in the league. Michael Jordan also went 2 years to Washington. So don't do that. So 10 of those years in which he played with Scottie Pippen was a 7-time All-Star. But that's none of my business.
I know, but Michael wasn't there. Michael wasn't there. He had the 2 years off. So only 6 times was he able to play with one other All-Star, Scottie Pippen. Had only 1.
Yeah. I'm talking,
wait a second.
No, hold on. No, Skip, for context here now. Michael Jordan got to the league in 84.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen didn't come into the league until what? 87, 88.
Okay,
so that's
what?
3 years.
So what's
So
your
how
point?
can Scottie Pippen go to the All-Star game with him if he's not in the NBA?
Well, I'm just saying, this is all he had. So those years, he didn't have any All-Stars.
Okay. You remember big old Orlando Woolridge.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's rookie year, he averaged 23 points a game.
Okay, he didn't go to the All-Star. I'm doing All-Stars. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, well, how
and I'm looking at LeBron James, and you realize once in Cleveland and 4 times in Miami, he had multiple All-Stars with him because last year in Cleveland, obviously, he had both Kevin Love and Kyrie, and 4 straight years in Miami, he had both Dwayne and Bosh. So that's multiple All-Stars. So if I add up all the All-Star appearances that you've been able to play with, that's 14 for LeBron and only 6 for Michael. Well, that would mean, I think 14 is much more than 6. So I think that means that LeBron's had way more All-Star help than Michael ever thought about having, right?
So let me get this right. Scottie Pippen finished 3rd in the MVP voting the year Michael Jordan left. He's an All-Star Game MVP. He led the league in steals. He's an 8-time first-team All-Defensive player. So which one of those guys, okay, of all the guys that LeBron played with, tell me the guy that's better at playing defense than Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Horace Grant.
Okay. Help me out with this. What happened to that top 50 player, Scottie Pippen, after he left Michael Jordan? What happened?
He took him to the semifinals.
Yeah.
They won 55 games the year Michael left.
Did he ever make an All-Star team?
Yeah, hold on.
Did he make an All-Star team? This is you're raving about all this stuff. Did he make an All-Star team without Michael Jordan?
Hold on. Help me out now. LeBron leaves Cleveland. They're in the lottery. They get the #1 overall pick 3 times. Michael Jordan leaves the Bulls and they win 55 games without him. Okay, they go to the Miami Heat. They go to 4 straight finals. He leaves. They're in the lottery. I'm missing something here.
Well, you're missing.
With those 2 All-Stars.
You're missing that Scotty went to Houston, then he went to Portland, and he never made another All-Star team. This is a top 50 player. I've been consistent with this. I wrote it in the Chicago Tribune. You can look it up. Michael Jordan made Scottie Pippen. He certainly made him a top 50 player, and Scotty knows I feel that way, and he does not like it. He's had big issues with me before, and I'm going to say it again. Michael made Scotty.
Skip, you know Scotty didn't have a good time in Houston because you know who was there. He never liked him. He doesn't like him. But all that being said, Skip, tell the people at home how many times Michael got out of the first round before Scottie Pippen joined his team since he made him.
Okay, if you'll tell the people that it took LeBron 9 years to break through and win his first championship. If you'll do that, I'm good.
It took LeBron 9 years.
9 years?
Yeah.
Boy, that's a long time.
But hold on.
And what did he say? It's about damn time?
But if Michael's going to make the playoffs at 30 and 52, Joey, at 44 and 38, I mean, at 38 and 44, I mean, really? Is that what we're talking about?
What happened?
30 and 50. Hold on. How you go to the playoffs at 30 and 52?
Well, wait a second. If LeBron took his talents to South Beach to join forces with the great Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who was an all-star before he got to Miami and Toronto, and then what happened in 2011, that first go-around, I don't know. Boy, it looked like the chosen one became the frozen one in the finals.
But let's use context. This same Mavericks team that beat the Miami Heat 4-2 in the NBA Finals swept the 2-time defending champs Lakers. They also blew the doors off Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook in 5 games. But see, we got to give it some context now. So are you telling me Andrew Bynum, Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant? How could Kobe Bryant get swept?
Who was favored going into that series?
That's the only
Miami-Dallas. Miami was favored.
That's the only series that LeBron has ever been favored in.
Yeah, but he was favored, and boy, he shrank. I don't know.
Hold on. So they sweep the 2-time defending champ with Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant shrank. Kobe Bryant shrank.
I guess so. But this is about Michael versus LeBron.
So
and LeBron's played with 14 total All-Stars to only 6 for Michael.
But okay.
Well, that's I think. Does that mean that LeBron has more help?
So you believe D Wade is a better player than Scottie Pippen?
I don't know. Yeah, I would trust him more in the clutch for sure. He makes more big shots. Yeah, I would.
Okay, Dennis Rodman. Who does LeBron play with?
Dennis Rodman made 2 All-Star teams.
He was two-time Defensive Player of the Year. Led the league in rebounding.
2 All-Star teams. 2. And guess what? Dennis never made one with Michael.
Hold on.
Interesting.
But here's the thing now.
You know why? Because he joined him. He was 33 years old, 34.
Okay, here's the thing, though, Skip. Let's be fair. Now, we know the All-Star, be it Pro Bowls, All-Star game in baseball or basketball, is a popularity contest. We've seen Magic Johnson not play in the NBA and be voted to the All-Star game in '92 when it played in Orlando. I know.
So you're saying Scotty wasn't popular in 1998? He didn't make the All-Star team.
Can you let me talk? I just want to let me get a... Now, on these All-NBA teams, the fan doesn't vote for that. Who votes for All-NBA, Skip? The writers. Guys like Skip Bayless and these guys and your former partner, Stephen A., that follow these games. So they voted Dennis Rodman all-defensive 8 times. They voted Scottie Pippen 10 times. That's what Horace Grant, all-defensive team. Charles Oakley, all-defensive. But Skip, I mean, come on now.
How about Michael Jordan? How many times was he all-defensive?
I think 10.
10, yeah. So maybe he's sort of
LeBron
helping everybody around him.
What about LeBron? You make it seem like LeBron has never made first-team all-defensive team.
He used to be good. He doesn't play defense anymore.
All I know is the team. All I know is in this past series, when they tried a shot against LeBron James, they were shooting worse than they shot against any other Cleveland Cavalier defender. Now you love stats. I just gave you one right there. Eat it up.
I love stats.
Yeah.
I love the fact that 4 players LeBron has played with made All-Star teams without LeBron, either before or after LeBron. Nobody Michael ever played with made the All-Star team before or after him. Nobody.
So if you make
he made Scottie Pippen, so that's his only. That's his lone. It's like Tonto to the Lone Ranger. That's what it was.
But see, here's the thing. What also made this team so successful is that you can say, you know what, Ho Grant, go lock somebody down. Dennis Rodman, lock somebody down. Pip, lock somebody down. I didn't even mention Ron Harper. He never made an all-defense team, but Skip, you know he could play. And before he blew his knee out, he could really, really play.
Who set the tone for that front line, or actually the back line as it was? You couldn't even get the ball across half court against him because Michael was in the middle.
All of them.
Right in the middle.
Skip, Scotty, you saw what he did in the 91 finals. Can you tell the people at home what Magic Johnson did to Michael Jordan in the Game 1 finals? What did he post on him, Skip?
Yeah, well, you tell them.
I don't know. I wasn't there. You were covering the game.
Yeah, I was there in '98. I covered the team when
Triple-dub.
Michael Jordan was the lone All-Star on an
Triple-dub.
NBA champ. Can you believe that? Has that ever happened?
He played. I'm trying to say,
Interesting.
when is LeBron going to play with a two-time Defensive Player of the Year? Two-time Defensive Player of the Year. Rebounding champ, steals leader. I'm waiting on LeBron to play with one of them. Played with Oak. When is LeBron going to have him an enforcer like Oak?
Yeah. Well, last year, LeBron got to play with two All-Stars, multiple All-Stars, and it was Golden State in 5. I don't know. Interesting.
Can you tell the people?
He's the best player on the
If
planet?
you don't mind me asking, those former All-Stars that he played with when they were with the other teams, can you tell the people where they were drafting at, where they were drafting every year?
Who was drafting?
The team that these All-Stars, the Kyries and Kevin Love, before they joined up with LeBron, can you tell them where their teams were drafting?
Where their teams were drafting. You're losing me. You mean where the Cavs were drafting without LeBron?
Yes.
Obviously.
With Kyrie, that All-Star.
Yeah.
Where would he draft? Okay, Kevin Love in Minnesota, that All-Star.
Yeah, I never liked Kevin Love in Minnesota.
But you hyping him up. You just hyped him up.
He made All-Stars. He's made 5 All-Star teams.
Whoa.
I think he's playing I tweeted late last night, he's playing the best basketball of his life. And you know it, and I know it.
He's played very good the last 3 ball games. I will give him credit. But you also saw those 7 games in Indy, with Indy.
Yeah, so did you. That's why you got nervous about picking the Raptors
but
this week.
so we come to the conclusion, you and I both agree, Michael Jordan had more help. Go ahead until you read, Joy.
Yeah.
I don't think that was.
I think the conclusion was LeBron's played with 14 All-Stars to only 6 for Michael.
No, that was the question. Who's had more help was the
Well,
question.
I think
Not how many All-Stars.
That just closes the case.
No, Scott.
Boom.
This man got 2 top 50 players, Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen.
No mercy. Next up, the Sixers finally got their first win of the series last night over the Celtics, 103-92. TJ McConnell was the surprise hero, scoring a career-high 19 points in his first ever playoff start. And Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid combined for 34 points and 26 boards. The Sixers now trail 3-1 with Game 5 tomorrow night in Boston. Shannon, how much of a shot do you give the Sixers in Game 5?
It ain't flu season, so they got no shot. 0, zilch. Because if you count the Skip, think about this now. What they asked. They needed Saric to give them 25, and T.J. McConnell, who's basically a role player, so is Saric. Those, Ben Simmons, he tied McConnell with 19 points. But when you got 2 role players leading your team and your 2 best players are not in scoring, you're not winning. They're going home. Now, they had every opportunity to win Game 2. They had every opportunity to win Game 3, Skip. They missed their opportunity. They're going home tomorrow night. They've got 0. What's less than 0? Well, negative. So whatever that number is, integer or whatever it is, Skip, that's what they got. I give them 0. Less than 0. Less.
Less than
I got a
0.
better chance of winning the Mega Million and Powerball on consecutive days than they got of beating the Boston Celtics. Now, they say when the Powerball get on up there, it's like 1 in 280 million. So
you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, but I got a better chance of winning that and the Mega Millions.
I'll take the Sixers plus 8.
No,
Why
you
not?
ain't get no points.
Well, you
No.
just made the case for a blowout. You said they have less than 0 chance. That means they're going to get wiped out. I'll take 8 right now.
No.
Why not?
I'm saying they're not beating the Boston Celtics in the Garden because what we've seen is that role players play better at home when the crowd is cheering for them. Do you think T.J. McConnell got another 19-point game in him?
Yep, I do. I do.
Well, he might, but it won't be in
You
the
know
playoffs.
why? T.J. McConnell, people probably have forgotten. 2 years ago, he started 17 games as a rookie, and last year, in his second year in the league, undrafted out of Arizona, he started 51 games last year. So he's kind of been around. He maybe hadn't been around to this point, but he's been there and done all this before. And that last night, that's pretty special. If you go 9 of 12 and you chip in with 7 rebounds and 5 assists, and here's the beauty of it. T.J. McConnell had 0 turnovers in 39 minutes of a potential closeout home game with the pressure on him because it's Ben Simmons as the best player, the new next, who's got next to LeBron James, right?
I know a guy had 14 assists with 1 turnover, a 17 and none. You know that guy, Skip?
We're talking about T.J. McConnell.
That's
here.
my point, and that's why they're going home tomorrow.
Guess
'cause we're
what
talking about
scary
TJ.
Terry Rozier did last night? Guess what he did?
He about to swing on Joel Embiid. That's what
He
he's
was
about.
trying. He was trying, and I admire him for that, for standing
No!
his ground. I do.
You don't swing on the ball court,
Okay,
Skip.
you can. Yeah, he was just pushing. He didn't close his fist. He just shoved. It's okay.
Joel Embiid should have put them.
So last night, Scary Terry went 4 of 11 and 1 of 6 from 3. Why was that, Shannon Sharpe?
He had an off night.
It was because of T.J. McConnell getting up into him, because T.J. brings energy and grit and scrap, and T.J.'s bigger than you think he is. He's 6'2". How tall are you?
6'2".
That's what I'm saying. So he's as tall as you are, and he looks like he's about 5'4" on the court, doesn't he? He plays 5'4", but he plays stout. He plays strong. He plays the right way. He makes every right play with conviction. He's not afraid. So he changed the way they played. He changed it in game 3. He changed it in game 2. And finally last night, Brett Brown said, I'm going to sort of cover my bet here. I'm going to start Ben and TJ. Well, that was interesting. So you started 2 point guards.
Why wasn't he starting Covington?
Because he has been a disaster. He's been beyond Rodney Hood disaster.
He's been terrible.
And he was last night again. He was pretty terrible.
Hey, Skip, I want to pass on some information. Jason Tatum, when 2 guys get into it on the court, you go grab your guy. Because let me tell you how this happens. You grab me and you're not my teammate. First of all, if you grab me and I get hit, I'm going to hit you and I'm going to hit him. So you make sure, Jason Tatum, you go get Rozier. Don't you grab me. That's how you do it, Skip.
Okay. He's a kid. He's figuring it out.
Yeah,
all right, so he'll appreciate that.
Yeah, he'll get that.
I admire him.
Skip, Sarge, so you think Sarge is going to give you another 25 on the road?
You know what's funny about this? Those odds makers in Las Vegas, would you believe they still say Philly is favored at Boston tomorrow night by 1.5 points?
They're trying to get their money back. They're trying to get their money back.
Oh, so they favored the Sixers pretty heavily for the series, and at home they were 6.5 point favorite, 6.5 point favorite. And last night they backed up the odds makers because they covered the 6.5.
Well, the odds makers tried to
won by 11.
What about the odds makers that had Toronto 6.5, 6.5?
I didn't. This odds maker did not have.
You ain't no odds maker.
Yeah, I am.
No,
I set the odds on
But
that
you
one.
and I both know, Skip. You know good and well. Now you need to stop playing. The Sixers are not winning this game in the Boston Garden.
You know, I tweeted last night at the end of the game that
You
I
tweet
have my
too much.
doubts. I do not tweet that much.
You do.
I tweet when it's time, such as "We the Swept." That's what I tweeted at the end of
Why
the
would you
game.
do that,
Yeah,
Skip?
because that's what
we
they
got
are.
fans in Canada.
Yeah, well, they
Good
know.
night, Canada.
They know. Yeah, they know what the deal is. So the point is, I tweeted that I have my doubts about this. But, you know, then I slept on it, and I started looking at TJ's stats, and every time he plays big. He did start a game for Ben Simmons, who was hurt back in November. And in that game, he played 37 minutes. He scored 15 points. He had 13 assists and 3 steals. He can play. He brings them some poise and some grit that they don't have. I just think he changes the way they play. And when
They're not winning.
Ben Simmons looked better last night because he could get his 13 rebounds, he went back to playing more power forward with Embiid as the center.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. They're daring him to shoot the ball. First of all, they already know he's not going to attempt a 3. So if he gets the ball at the 3-point line, I'm going to stay like 2 feet from the paint.
Why not?
Because I know he's not going to shoot anything unless it's a floater from about 5 to 6 feet in, or he's going to try to lay the ball up or dunk it. So that's how they're playing it.
Are you starting to get nervous that maybe the Sixers are going to be the first team to come back from 3-0? Maybe?
I'm nervous.
Yeah?
No.
Huh? Because this is a much worse matchup for the Cavs. These guys are.
They're not winning tomorrow.
Yeah.
Put some Sprite on it.
I might tomorrow. I don't drink Sprite.
You see Bron commercial? He's
Yeah, I
pitching
did.
now.
How old are those commercials? He looks like
pitching. He's pitching looking like Clayton,
Were
right-handed
those
Clayton
made like
Kershaw.
10 years ago?
No, he was Max Scherzer.
He's got hair everywhere.
Yeah, he got hair.
I don't know what's happening.
Got a head full of hair.
Yeah.
Got that big old beard growing, got that mustache, got that stash going.
Yeah. Who is
Chuck
that
him
guy?
off.
Who is he?
Threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
What did they do?
seasons.
Just shelve those for 10 years and they suddenly
Stop.
rolled them out?
Stop.
I don't know.
No, he's
Weird.
Sprite.
Huh?
Sprite.
Well, Sprite. Diet
Lemon lime.
Mountain Dew is my
No,
drink
I'm
of
Sprite.
choice.
Me and Brian on that Sprite train. Lemon lime.
I thought you didn't like soft drinks. Now you do? He talked you into
I'm
it?
more of a ginger ale guy. But for you,
Tomorrow, I
Sprite.
just might have a little wager for you on this game because I'm starting to think this team is starting to turn it around.
guess what?
The-
And they got to turn it right
you know
around and
this
get
and
back
I
on
know
the
it.
plane and go home and clean out their
The
lockers.
Sixers are a more talented team than Boston is, but Boston has played better overall in the 4 games so far, right?
Yeah. I mean, anytime they take the floor, they got the 2 best players over Boston. Okay, good. But Boston go about 7, 8 deep, and they all play hard.
They
They
do.
can all make shots.
They
They all
can.
get up into you on defense. So I get all that. Yeah, Joel Embiid is hands down the best player on the court, and Ben Simmons is the second best player. But what's that got him? 3-1.
What if Bellinelli's feet had just been 4 inches?
Well, he should
over
have
here?
he should have done.
Yeah.
He should have done what the coach asked him to do, was get behind the 3-point line.
Yeah.
I know a guy that got behind the 3-point line backing up, hit a shot that hurt somebody.
I don't remember that.
You do remember it?
I don't even know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
with Ray Allen got that thing with
Oh,
backing up.
that shot.
Yeah, Ray
Oh,
backed
the
up. Ray-
shot
Ray
that
was backing up.
saved. Wait a second. It saved LeBron's legacy.
Yeah,
Or
like
he'd
that-
be 2 and 6
Yeah,
in
like
the
that,
final.
like that Steve Kerr and John
Right?
Paxson.
Huh?
Yeah, like that Steve Kerr and John Paxson shot.
Wow.
Saved your career.
Yeah,
Saved it.
but those shots were called in the huddle. They were actually called for those 2 players where Mike said, "You're going to take that shot, and you're
Hold
going
on.
to take that
So-
shot."
hold on.
So wait, who took the shot to tie that missed? LeBron took the shot to tie,
But
right?
you won't give LeBron
he
credit.
bricked it.
When LeBron
Was that called?
When LeBron
Was
came
that
back
the
from
play?
3-1,
I'll miss a 3
he
so
told
that you
Ty
can make
Lue in the
it.
huddle, let's ISO, let Kyrie go 1-on-1. Now he called that, but I don't hear you ever mention that.
Yeah, but on Kerr and Paxson, those weren't ISO plays. Those are 2 guys who are going to run at me, and I will give you the ball.
He said, let him take the shot because we see he got that big old clutch gene. I don't know old clutch gene. I don't know what they is.
Yeah.
7-man kind what? I don't know what kind of jeans he be wearing. Levi, dungarees, Buddy Lees.
So LeBron James said, let Kyrie go ISO. Let him just sort of figure out how to get this shot off.
Yeah.
And guess what? He made it.
Yeah.
Well, that was a 3.
But we've seen a guy, we've never seen a guy have a series like this with 2 buzzer beaters,
Really?
2 triple double. We've never seen what he did in Indiana. We have never, ever seen that before. Never.
You know what? You're
Never.
right. I've never seen a guy get away with a goaltend which set up a 3 at the other
Well,
end.
I've never seen them blow a call because they could have gone to in the last 2 minutes of the game. You can go to the replay and see who the ball was off of, and they
blew it.
didn't do it.
They
Why
blew
didn't they do it? Why, Skip?
This cost points. It would have been 97, 95
You
Pacers.
cost-
Everything changes. LeBron doesn't make the last shot.
How do you know that?
Because they play him to shoot a 3.
How you
they
know
have
that?
to.
Well, Skip, what about the possession that you took the ball away from us? You took the ball from us. It's kind of like Oakland. When the Patriots took the ball from them, that was a fumble, right?
The Pacers had you on the run, and you know it.
They had us on the rope. We was ducking. You remember that when Ali was on the
A lot
rope?
of ducking.
And somebody and George Foreman tried to hit him, but Ali was doing all Oladipo, he tried to hit Bron.
Tear that suit.
Yeah.
Be careful.
This a little big on me, yo. I gotta get big.
No mercy. The Cowboys will look like a different team next season with no Des Bryant and no Jason Witten. Stephen Jones was asked if Dallas is a team in transition and said, quote, "I don't look at it as a transition as I do just resetting." He added that young players like Dak and Zeke will now be the core of the team. We're joined now by former Cowboys defensive coordinator Rob Ryan. Welcome, Rob. Good morning.
Thank you.
we
Good
go.
to be here.
How good will the Cowboys be next season?
I think they'll be excellent. I think.
Wow.
I
Excellent.
think.
I like that word.
I think. I understand what Steven's saying. They're resetting. When you use the word transition, obviously that's a do-over. So they have so much talent. I mean, the young running back, the quarterback, that offensive line. I mean, there's still a ton of positives there. But the biggest positive, I think, is going to be on defense. I think they've added 2 really good coaches over there. And look, their defense has struggled. I mean, that Tampa scheme hasn't really stopped anybody, since the, year 2000. So I like bringing
just
in
said
the
a
cover
mouthful.
3. Well, I like
Yeah.
bringing in the cover 3 guy, Chris Richard. He's a fantastic
He
coach.
is, the Seattle
Bloom,
guy.
Right,
Yeah.
Ben Bloom's a great linebacker coach.
Yeah.
So trained by yours truly. So he'll be fantastic. So. I just am really excited about that team. Now, that division is as tough as they get. I mean, you bring Alex Smith over to Washington, he's going to be an upgrade. I think he's a great quarterback. You know, you already got the world champions there, the
World
Eagles,
champs.
You know, and then the Giants, you know, they've added some great talent. You get Odell if he's healthy again.
Yep.
Get finally some protection for Eli.
Yep. Nate Solder's big.
Yeah, big, and they've added some good other linemen around them. And if they can just play any kind of defense, I mean, you know, that team's going to be
Which they
competitive.
should be able to play, actually.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
you
their
know, 2 years
forte.
ago they played really good defense, and last year they ran out. Landon Collins is a star,
Yeah.
you know, for them. So that's going to be a great division. But I can see Dallas right in the thick of it.
Huh? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
Shannon Sharpe? I think.
Well,
that's-
Tampa 2 normally works really well if it's littered with Hall of Famers. You got Steve
Yeah.
Technique and Warren Sapp, you got Derek Brooks,
right.
you got John Lynch down the middle, and you got a guy that like 120 sacks and Simeon Rice. Tampa 2 will work.
And Rondé.
Rondé, yeah.
that'll work.
So
Yeah.
it'll work really good.
Group, yeah.
See, reset, transition.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, you do a hard reset on your phone, what they do? They make you cut it off, start all over again from scratch, Jody Joy. That's what reset means.
Hmm.
So all he just said was like, look, fans, we gonna be some slow this year.
Yeah, but everything on the phone is the same.
I
You
just
just
want-
needed a reboot.
Okay, everything the same. They're still the Cowboys. They still got Zach and Zeke. But you said you want Dak to take that next step. Well, you better get Skip. Okay, you got rid of Dez. Think that's a good thing. You got Witten retired. Who you placing with? Really?
I already told you.
Hearns. Hearns. So Hearns is going to be an upgrade over Dez. Rico, he played well in the preseason.
Rico Gathers.
Rico
He's a big
Gathers.
kid
I
from
know.
Baylor.
Yep.
I've seen a lot, Rob, you've seen a lot of guys play really well in the preseason. Boy, when they come to that real deal, where the games really matter,
Yep.
all of a sudden the preseason ain't the regular season, and they don't look the same, Skip. So I don't really see, okay, yeah, you got those guys. You better win right now, Skip. Because in 2 years, those contracts going to be up. Then what? How do you pay a quarterback $130 million with $110 guaranteed, a running back $70 million with $50 million guaranteed? How do you build from that?
You sound nervous to me.
I'm good. I'm good because the Eagles, because old Walker to him gonna come back healthy.
Is he?
Oh yeah, old Lick'em, old Eli.
And you realize Nick Foles is really healthy. He's mentally and physically.
We talking about the
healthy.
Cowboys.
I know
we not
we
talking
are.
about.
Yeah, they got a quandary going on there. So I'm with Coach on this because I actually like this team better with low expectations. Because I think going into the year, most people pick them like 8 and 8-ish, something. They'll be just out of the mix, which is the perfect place for this team because, to Coach's point, you have a top 10 quarterback in Dak Prescott, whose QBR was 3rd in the league as a rookie, only 4th last year in a quote-unquote bad year. The running back can be, if he's eligible and healthy, the best running back in football. The most explosive, the most lethal, the most game-changing is that kid. If he's right, mentally, physically,
He'll be right.
eligible. Well, I hope so, because he's still got issues he's working through. The offensive line underachieved last year, but you got 5 Pro Bowls here, 4 here, and 4 here. So you got 3 who were ranked by the NFL players last year in the top 25 players in the league. And they went out and got New England's right tackle. They got Tom Brady's right tackle, Cameron Fleming. Who, I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowl player, but he's pretty good. He started the Super Bowl for the New England Patriots, and it allows them to push Lyle Collins back to left guard where he belongs. He was shaky at right tackle. It was unnatural for him. So all of a sudden, I think it all will fall back together. Obviously, Tyron Smith's health is a huge issue because he's got back problems, and yet he's only 27?
Yeah, 27, 28. Yeah, he came out in 2011.
So it's not like he's old. It's not like he's at the end of the line. He should be just entering his prime.
But that
right?
back injury will make you old before your time.
Okay, it could. But I still say that Baylor kid's going to be an X factor. And I still say, as much as I love Jason Witten and I love Des Bryant, this is where you and I part ways, I still say there's some addition by subtraction, where you just start fresh and you let the quarterback read and react instead of saying, well, you have to throw it to 88 and you have to throw it to 82, because he got a little too dependent on Dez for sure. And then there's so many checkdowns to 82, and 82 at this stage of his career will catch it for 6 yards, and then that's probably going to be about the end of it, right?
Yep.
So he can't gash you by turning and running for another 6 or 8 yards or 20 yards. So to me, you add all kinds of Allen Hurnses and Deontay Thompsons and Michael Gallup that you took in the 3rd round, and you just hope that Cole Beasley in this mix will come back to life, because they'll be spreading the ball to a lot of people, which they have not been able to do for the last 2 years.
You know, the the saying goes, Skip, it's not having high expectations and failing, it's having low expectations and succeeding. See, he got low expectations for the Cowboys. So you're going to say, 8-8, everybody got them. That's pretty low, Skip. And so if they hit that, you're like, well, this was a team, they were in transit. Oh, they were resetting. They lost Jason Witten. They lost Gas Bryant, blah, blah, blah. No, Skip, Shouldn't you have higher standards for America's team, the most valuable team in all of pro sports? Shouldn't you expect more from them? Why do we expect the Patriots to be 11-5 and 12-4 and 13-3, but we don't have that for the best team in football? I mean, the America's team. What's going on, Skip?
Well, I like it because you think they're going to be even worse than 8-8. You've been making the case.
I said some stir fry.
Okay. What does that mean?
Stir fry poop.
4-12?
7-9.
You said stir-fried poop. That's what you called them, right?
Yep. That's what
Okay,
it's
so
gonna be.
what 4-9?
7-9.
7-9?
7-9.
That sounds, poop can't go 7-9,
Yeah, they can.
it?
That's what y'all going.
Huh? Okay, all right.
You want some Sprite on it right now? Right now, today.
All right, I'll take that. I don't do Sprite. I do Diet Mountain
Ocho
Dew.
de Mayo,
Okay. What does that mean?
the 8th of May.
Okay. Well,
I just wanted to say the date.
now I get to push Coach's favorite button because
What?
Good.
that linebacker's, he's still there. And that guy's name is Sean Lee. And last year when he was healthy, they went 8-2 in the games he played in. 8-2. In the games he didn't play in, they went 1-5 because they beat Kirk Cousins.
And they drafted his replacement. They drafted his replacement too.
No.
Leighton
They
Vander
did.
Haar-
They drafted a kid that hopefully, can give him some extra linebacker play because, look, the truth of the matter is Sean does, get banged up. If he stays healthy, he is a difference maker, obviously. But at least this kid can come in. He's an athletic guy. He can run around, make plays, and they need him. I mean, and especially if they're going to play more of this cover 3, they need an athletic kid like him. And I think it's a great choice. But the big thing, with Sean is he makes everybody better because, he knows exactly what the offense is going to do. He slows the game down for him. So if you're running any style of defense, it helps you. And, but to me, they still have some excellent players. I love the pass rushers they still have. Lawrence and Irving, when those two are healthy, there's another thing. If Irving can stay healthy, get away from the concussions, they can have a real push. And if the coverage is tighter, because believe me, it was about as loose as I've seen, until the end of the year when they went against Foles. To me, I think this is a great starting point. Like you say, teams are this is low expectations for Dallas. I don't get it. I don't see how they're losing a great receiver, obviously, but he didn't always fit in with what Prescott and Linehan wanted to do. I think Scott does a great job of using his personnel. He's going to get his back, who every week, am I playing, am I not?
Yep.
How could he prepare that way?
I don't know.
And he still missed 6 games, and they still won some games. So, look, this team's going to be rolling. And I love the point you made of putting Collins in there at guard again, where he just mauls people. I mean, that's outstanding.
Yep.
And they drafted a backup tackle in case, that debacle in Atlanta doesn't happen again.
That's correct.
So I like where they're heading.
Yep. So do I.
And it'll be interesting.
Do me. Case of do. I'll take you on 7-9. Better than 7-9.
7-9. 7-9.
Yeah,
7-9.
they went 9-7 last year in a disaster year.
And if I
Never had their back.
And if they go 7-8-1, I get the tie too. They're gonna
I'll
have
give
7
you that.
wins.
You can have that.
And you know what, Skip? I know why you set low expectations because that's all you've had since 1995 was low expectations.
I think you just walked right into the low expectations trap.
No,
because you
I already
said
know what they're gonna be.
7-9.
I already know what they're gonna be. Yeah, the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
I got you.
the stadium's gonna be filled. Jared's gonna have a lot of revenue. Ooh, I mean, Jared, ching, 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 ching. That money counter gonna be going off, and all
Always
the L's.
does.
L,
Always does.
L,
Really?
L, L.
Okay.
That's the only team I know that's not affected by L.
No mercy. Carson Wentz was in the arena last night to watch the Sixers beat the Celtics. Earlier in the day, he told NFL Network his rehab from a torn ACL and LCL is going great and added, quote, I feel really good and really confident for week 1. The Eagles still have Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles as an insurance policy, so they could be cautious with Wentz. Shannon, how important is it for Wentz to play?
It's very important. It's of the utmost importance because what it does, it kills any chance of a quarterback controversy down the road. He doesn't start week 1, Joy, Skip, and he has to say miss. He missed the first month. Nick Foles goes 4-0. I understand Carson Wentz is your guy. He's the franchise. I don't know how you go back. I don't believe they'll go back to him. And so to nip this in, those saying, to nip this in the bud, to stop this before it gains any traction, it's very important that Carson Wentz is the opening day starter, because you don't want any slight chance of a quarterback controversy. And the longer he sits and the better Foles play, you get talk radio and you get the fans. Hey, we all, hey, Carson, let Carson, okay, he's healthy, but we're going to wait another week, and then we're going to wait another week. And I know what, and Doug Peterson, he's like, well, Carson's our franchise guy, and we know what he means to this organization. But Carson Wentz sees better than he hears. That's my girlfriend tell her, boy, I hear better than I see. But here's the thing, I see better than I hear. Skip. Guess what he saw 4 months ago? He saw Nick Foles standing on that podium with that Lombardi saying, wow. And then he saw him off to the side of the field and said, I'm going to Disneyland or Disney World. He saw that. So you mean to tell me he wouldn't be worried? That guy that went to Disneyland, and when he was supposed to be going, he's 4-0, 5-0 in the season, that he wouldn't be worried? Oh, absolutely. So it's of the utmost importance that when they trot out there that Thursday night, Skip Bayless, and they play the Atlanta Falcons, Carson Wentz need to be on the center.
Interesting.
Ain't no interesting. Look at you. Look at you. You already. You make me sick.
This is amusing.
You make
to
me sick.
I like this.
I know you do.
So let me get this straight. The biggest Carson Wentz defender and protector, Shannon Sharpe sitting across from me, sounds pretty worried about Nick Foles. It sounds like, boy, you need your guy to get healthy fast and get in there in game one.
Because I've seen this happen before with Nick Foles. Remember what happened with Michael Vick Joy? Had a little concussion, missed a game or two. Nick Foles throws 7 touchdowns. And all of a sudden, he goes 27-2, and Michael Vick never starts another game.
Wait, Nick Foles had a whole year of starting in which he threw 27 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions? Is that good? That sounds really good to me. Like that could be starting quarterback good?
He was a starting quarterback, but that wasn't sustainable. That's why they got him up out of Philly. So stop.
So we just saw an extraordinary playoff run by one Nick Foles, because I'm here to remind you, the great Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever, only once in his career has he had back-to-back playoff 3-touchdown games, and Nick Foles did it in the championship game and the Super Bowl. So Brady's only done it once. Only once in Tom Brady's whole playoff career, all those Super Bowls, all those championships, only once has he gone back-to-back 350-plus games. Just one time. Nick Foles did it in the championship game and the Super Bowl. Nick Foles in the Super Bowl had a QBR of 87 to Tom Brady's 84. So he did slightly outplay.
Ain't no slight.
Yeah, slightly outplayed.
3 points is a lot.
It is, but Tom threw it for 505 in that game. So that was
so how many yards you going to take away for that L? I take like 300 away.
All right, take it away. So you're right. You're making my case for me. Nick Foles outplayed the great Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. And by the way, for the entire playoffs, Nick Foles completed 73% of his passes to Tom Brady's 71% for the whole playoff run last year.
That settles it. He's better.
Wow.
He's better.
Well, if he's better than Tom Brady, wouldn't that make him better than Carson Wentz, just a 2-year starter, who really struggled as a rookie and had a nice run last year?
Oh, he had a nice run.
Yeah, but he had lots of new toys, boy. That defense was
your guys don't have any new toys.
Okay. Well,
but anyway, Skip Bayless, this is very important, because you know how this could start a controversy that doesn't need to be one. Carson Wentz is going to be there for the long haul. So the sooner he can get in there, the better it's going to be for everyone, and it doesn't put Doug Peterson in a situation where he has to say, we're playing well and we're going to stay where we are right now, Carson.
I think the smartest Eagle fans out there, and there are a bunch of smart ones, I think they're sitting back saying, you know what? I don't think Carson Wentz could have done what Nick Foles did in the playoffs.
You're the only one, and you're not a fan. You're thinking that.
No, because Nick Foles, by the way, in his starting career in regular season games, he's thrown 61 touchdowns to only 29 interceptions. That's high quality.
Skip, he threw 27 in 1 year.
Yeah, okay. So in playoff games, he's 8-1 in 4 playoff starts. Should have won all 4. Drew Brees nipped him at the wire. So should be 4-0 with 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. And you and I both know the 1 interception was just unlucky. It was tipped by Alshon tipped it up in the air and it got
Carson
picked.
Wentz going to go to the playoffs. He might go 10, might be like
Really?
13, 14.
So he would just leave Tom Brady in the dust.
Dusted.
He would just,
Dusted.
yeah, he'd make people forget Tom Brady. I don't think he would. I saw a quarterback who looked more poised to me than Carson Wentz ever looks.
Stop it.
Saw a calmer, cooler, more collected in Nick Foles. I saw more consistent accuracy from Nick Foles than I ever see from Carson Wentz.
You saw a 3-game stretch. I mean, 3-game stretch. Come on, Skip.
That's a lot of games.
But
I also saw that Rams game when he stepped in under fire, season teering,
But the guy
playoff seed teetering.
But my guy had already thrown 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, boy,
Hey,
Nick Foles, boy, on 3rd and 8, did he not?
One on a busted up ACL and LCL. How many quarterbacks you know could do that?
Well, the play of the game was thrown by Nick Foles on 3rd and 8 because it iced it.
The play of the game was on 4th down when they went for it and got that tug.
And you know what? I give you Carson Wentz is a little bigger, a little stronger arm.
Better.
But Nick Foles is what they call in golf sneaky long, as in off the tee with your driver.
Yeah, he got a big, nice arm.
He's
big
got
time.
a nice arm where you suddenly sit back and say, wait a second, that ball, he effortlessly threw that ball 60 yards in the air. That looked pretty good.
So is it important for him?
Because Nick Foles, by the way, is 6 feet 6 inches tall.
Is it important for how important is it for Wentz to be there opening day?
It doesn't matter to me. Opening, whenever. He's under more pressure than any incumbent starter has ever felt. And he was at the game last night. They kept showing him up in a luxury box, and he's looking down like, hey, I'm Carson Wentz. Remember me?
You know, everybody know who he was. They call him Walk It To Him.
Oh, they? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they're
in
calling
Pennsylvania.
that. Yeah.
He the mayor.
I think they're calling Limp It to him because he suffered 2 huge injuries in the same knee. That's going to be hard to come back
It was
from.
1 injury, 2 ligaments. It wasn't 2 separate injuries.
Ooh, boy, that's a lot.
Stop trying to sell it.
So he can't win either way he goes.
Yes,
Let's
he
say
can.
he hurries back, he rushes back to
No,
play
we're not
game 1.
We're not going to hurry. We're not going to rush
Do
it.
you realize what's going to happen in Philadelphia at that field when he throws his first interception? We want Foles. We want Foles. It'll start to rise in his ears. It'll ring in his ears. You know it, and I know.
You're not gonna get
He
it.
can't win this one.
Not going to
He's
get
got
it. Not going to get
He's
it.
got a quarterback who outplayed Tom
Whoa,
Brady
whoa,
through
whoa.
the playoffs. Woof.
Never going to get it. Never going to get it.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
not
keep
gonna
singing
happen.
that, or we're going to have to pay for it.
We got to play for what?
For the song. Except you sang it so badly, nobody even knew what it
Yeah,
was. So
they
that's
know.
good.
They never going to get it. So Walk It To Him will be there week 1. Opening night Thursday when they drop that, pyrotechnics going to be going off. They're going to run out of them big old flags. They're going to drop that banner. When last time y'all dropped the banner?
We want Foles. We want Foles. You know it's coming. There's never been anything like this. I feel sorry for this kid.
Wentz.
Yeah.
Wentz. They're going to be down. Wentz. And he going to walk it to him.
Yeah, up in the stands, it's going to be W-I-N-C-E. Wentz
And they
at
got
the
Ertz.
interception.
And they got the big tight end Goddard.
I've never loved Carson Wentz's demeanor.
Don't worry about it.
He's hyper. He's
ain't.
overamped. He
good.
tries too
He's
hard.
Great.
He's such a good kid.
He's better than
gonna
Dak.
Throw it through that
better
brick
than
wall.
Dak. He's better than Dak, and that's what you hate.
The other
and he's in
guys-
the same division and going to kick y'all butt for the next 12
The other
years.
guy scares me more because he can just operate that offense. It's just so sweet to watch Nick Foles.
Yeah, hold on, Joe, hold on.
That
Hold
coaching
on.
staff has
See,
to be
Joy,
sitting there
and
shaking their
I
heads.
hate, this is what I love doing. This is why I love the show, because my recall is so great, Joy. I don't forget a name, a face, or an incident. So when someone says something, I never forget it. This is the very man that called the man Foles gold.
Yeah, but that was back in
Oh, back it in. So
2012.
now you love it, but you love him now.
I said I was wrong about that.
Oh!
Everybody, I started it, and then everybody jumped on Foles gold because it just didn't. I was a Michael Vick fan. What can I say? I thought Michael Vick would be better.
Well, you about to be a Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I don't think I ever will be that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and he was so lucky he caught my Cowboys. Remember, he trailed at halftime to the woeful Cowboys. There's no Sean Lee.
A bunch of teams.
No Sean Lee.
A bunch of teams trailed to the Cowboys at the half. And what did they do after that?
No Sean Lee. That's what happened.
On Thanksgiving.
5 losses.
What about on
5
Thanksgiving?
losses.
What about
No
Thanksgiving?
Sean Lee. He wasn't there.
Well,
Phillip Rivers.
Who was throwing those interceptions? Sean Lee?
He's just desperate, just trying to come back. We had no defense.
Oh, you got no defense.
You should be watching that documentary, All or Nothing, that you can see on Amazon.
Joy got me trying to.
You know what got me the most about the documentary? The one thing I
What?
learned, Sean Lee actually runs the defensive meeting. He's the coach of the defense. He runs it. He calls
That's
players
different,
out. No, it wasn't. He's calling out other players. What do you do on this? What do you do on that? He is the coach of the defense.
I wish
heart
you might.
and soul.
I wish
you should watch it.
I wish I'd have been in there. You talk about what you do.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit you down. That's what you do. You're not the coach. Rob Marinelli, you want to correct me or you want to tell me what I should have done
So
here?
wait, you're saying you know defense better than Sean Lee knows defense?
No, I know football.
Ah.
That's what I know. I know football.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us again same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.